What's up guys, welcome back to the channel, and today I'm back with another video. This time once again, we're going to look at NBA superstars and decide who is the most disrespected player in the entire NBA. In my own personal opinion, there are a lot of superstars who fit this bill. You have LeBron James, you have Giannis, even Nikola Jokic, Trae Young. A lot of NBA superstars get disrespected and don't get their proper due. But in my own personal beliefs, the most disrespected player in the NBA is one Steph Curry. In this video, very quickly, I'm going to give a couple reasons why I believe that, looking at NBA players, the fans, and just the overall perception in the media of Steph and his overall standing in NBA history as an all-time great. So without wasting more time, let's get into the video and look at why Steph Curry is the most disrespected superstar in the NBA. So the first reason I have with Steph Curry, his overall size and stature isn't intimidating to other NBA players, and NBA fans don't see Steph as a physical force of nature. And for NBA standards, he's not the best athlete in the world. He doesn't have a 48-inch vertical, he's not lightning quick, he is fast, but he's not Russell Westbrook explosive, and his overall physique isn't like Giannis, LeBron James, or even Kawhi Leonard. Steph Curry for the most part is an average NBA athlete, and his overall build isn't one of a Greek god. And why I feel like this is pretty important, I think players as well as fans, they look at Steph Curry as a smaller player, a guard, and think, how could he be the best player in the world against these giants like Giannis, LeBron James, and Kevin Durant? And that is one of the big misconceptions with Steph Curry in the game of basketball. Yes, being a great athlete in basketball helps you, but at the end of the day, basketball is a skill-based game. And Steph Curry today is undoubtedly one of the most skilled players in the entire NBA, as well as NBA history. And I think in these player debates, for the best point guard in the NBA, you saw in 2020, fans were very quick to knock Steph off his pedestal and give that crown to Damian Lillard, as well as Kyrie Irving.
And as great as Steph Curry has been, Damian Lillard's 2 years younger and has taken the next step. You know, Steph Curry showed the way, but Damian Lillard saw that, and he's shooting from a million miles away and hitting.
And even today, a wide variety of NBA fans don't have Steph Curry as one of the top 3 players in the NBA, when it's a very strong case of being the best overall player in the entire league. And one thing I've noticed in the NBA media, guys like Stephen A. Smith as well as Mark Jackson, they always refer to Steph Curry as the best shooter of all time. And yes, that is true, but at this point in Steph's career, he is far more than a shooter, and calling him purely a shooter is downplaying everything else he does and the overall impact he has on a basketball court. I mean, this past year, he averaged 32, 5, and 5 on 48, 42, and 91 splits. When on offense, it was basically him by himself, getting double and triple teamed every single night by the best defenders in the world. And if you want a prime example of NBA superstars disrespecting Steph, I would look to Dame Lillard in the 5th game this season. And coming into this matchup, Dame had some pretty choice words for Steph, basically implying that he couldn't carry teams, and he wasn't the same as he was in previous years when he had fellow All-Stars Kevin Durant, as well as Klay Thompson. Now in this game, Steph absolutely torched Dame Lillard for a career-high 62 points on 58% shooting with 8 3-pointers.
Curry from deep, 59! Running into the front court. Draymond finds him, another 3. Got it! 62!
And think back in your mind, when was the last time a fellow NBA superstar basically called out another superstar and said they couldn't carry teams or accomplish things without fellow All-Stars? You'll be very hard-pressed to find any quotes from superstars talking about other superstars in that same vein. And once again, I think Steph's overall size and stature, as well as his personality, contributes to that disrespect in a big-time way. He isn't in your face talking trash, he isn't very aggressive, he's more of a laid-back player at 6'3", a $185. Now, also adding on to that, one reason I think Steph gets a lot of hate is back in 2015, he basically stole the spotlight as the NBA's darling and the NBA's golden boy, and his playstyle was shooting threes and celebrating with his teammates. And even former NBA players will tell you that overall playstyle and mentality rubbed a lot of NBA players the wrong way.
I see it the most, the hate on Steph is across the league, other players.
Really?
It's crazy. Not so much the younger players, but some of the older players that he came in and just took their shine, they hate it. They hate it.
Came in and destroyed record books, won championships, beat LeBron. He's done a lot of things that probably angered other players and other fans. That's why I don't think he gets the respect he deserves as going to be obviously the greatest shooter, but one of the greatest players ever to play the game.
And speaking of Steph's playstyle, it's basically common knowledge at this point that he completely changed the NBA and he made some NBA players extinct for their time. The old power forwards and centers who played on the block, shot mid-range jumpers, for the most part those players do not exist. Guys like Roy Hibbert, Dwight Howard, DeAndre Jordan, the dominant style of centers in the 2010s simply don't exist in 2020. That's in large part due to Steph Curry and his overall impact on the league and how the game is played. Now, also one thing I have to add, in Steph's career, he's been pretty dominant in playoff success since 2015. I mean, look at his resume. He's beaten LeBron James, Kyrie Irving, KD and Russ, James Harden, Dame Lillard, as well as CP3, and he's beaten most of those players multiple times in the playoffs. And if you're a fan of any of those teams, the Rockets, the Cavaliers, or the Thunder, it can be pretty disappointing to see your team get knocked out of the playoffs routinely by the same player and the same team. And the rivalries they have, it builds hatred, specifically towards one Steph Curry. And a lot of those players have very, very passionate fans, specifically Westbrook, Kyrie, and Dame Lillard, who are all point guards, just like Steph Curry. And if you call BS on that take, I would say look to this. Steph Curry in the past year has gotten the most hate tweets out of anyone on social media. That is a verifiable fact that Steph Curry is hated by NBA fans as well as some NBA players. Also, one reason I think Steph Curry kind of gets dissed by NBA players as well as superstars, because growing up, he had an NBA father and he basically came from a wealthy, well put together family. And while that is great and spectacular, some NBA players had a tougher upbringing and kind of resent Steph Curry for quote unquote having it easy. And the gold boy image Steph Curry had back in 2016, I think that image turned off a lot of other NBA superstars, and they thought he got his shine a little bit too early. I mean, Steph, for the most part, really came onto the NBA scene in 2014 and exploded in that game in Madison Square Garden.
When the ball's out of his hands, that's
Got enough room. Again, butter. Steph Curry, his 11th three of the night.
Now, my last point in this video has to do with another trash-talking story, this time in the NBA Finals. And this story is legendary for many reasons, as it involves Steph Curry as well as Kendrick Perkins. And the funny thing about this is that Perkins, he wasn't even dressed and playing in uniform. He was on the bench in street clothes. What other NBA bench player who's not even dressed would talk trash to an NBA superstar, one of the top players in the NBA Finals? Very, very, very few players in NBA history who are the top level of their game will get trash talked by an irrelevant player averaging 0.5 points per game. So hopefully this video wasn't too long for you guys. I thought it was pretty informative and pretty eye-opening for Steph Curry and how he gets disrespected by other NBA stars as well as NBA superstars. And I think having respect for your peers is something everyone wants, whether in sports or your job. You want to be respected by your fellow teammates or your fellow co-workers. And I feel like throughout the years, Steph Curry has kind of gotten dissed by NBA players, and in the overall sense, been very disrespected by those players for some odd reason. So as always, let me know your guys' thoughts. What do you think of Steph Curry? And what do you think of NBA players not giving his due credit? As always, thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you guys next time.